So, hello and welcome to this week's episode of the Turn 5 podcast, where we will be starting in the most obvious place. Did anyone see that massive crash in Formula E at the weekend?
Yeah, that wasn't great, was it?
No. All
That
drivers
was,
are okay,
yeah,
luckily.
Mm.
and some of them raced the next day.
Yeah.
But Jesus, that was big. Do we know what actually happened yet? I just remember seeing a car go sideways and then all hell broke loose.
I think that is what happened.
I thought,
Yeah.
did he not just lose traction?
Yeah, I don't know if he got hit or if he just spun.
Maybe clipped the inside wall because it was a corner in that direction, but I don't know. I didn't see anything of the cause of the initial sideways vehicle, but I saw the absolute carnage that followed.
Because Formula E drivers seen the double waved yellows and just went
full throttle. Yeah,
full send.
That was something that kind of rubbed me the wrong way, was the fact that they were still going full pelt.
The first couple of cars you can understand.
Yeah.
That's fine. But like 5-6 cars back, maybe some investigating into why they didn't slow down there.
Yeah.
Especially when I can see a red flag flashing in the background. To me, that says stamp on the brakes.
Yeah. Such as the F1 game bug, where if you flash back after a red flag incident, it stamps on the brakes for you every time you hit that corner on the circuit.
Beautiful.
For the rest of the race.
Lol.
Even though the red flag didn't happen anymore, you will stop.
Lol.
It's great fun. Yeah, I wasn't actually expecting to start there. I was expecting abuse for doing that. Let's start with the actual obvious place.
Sorry, 1 minute. Why would we abuse you for bringing up a massive crash?
Because there was bigger news, and it was Formula E.
Yeah, did you guys see the Goodwood Festival of Speed this weekend? It was great. A McLaren came top.
And it got cancelled on Saturday due to high winds. But yeah,
there was crashes.
There was also crashes. A Hyundai 1 of 1 absolutely sent it into Malcolm Corner and went 5 hay bales deep into the runoff.
Wild.
Rest in peace, that one Hyundai.
Yep.
You will be missed. Well, you will be scattered bodywork.
Shall we talk Formula One?
Yeah, there is one other bit of news. Is Max Verstappen. He's done the greatest thing in sim racing.
Oh yeah.
And he had a endurance race at Spa, and there was an hour 50 left. And in the first chicane, he got punted by someone, pushed into his teammate, both span, their race is ruined. So then Max cut the whole of the chicane past our regional where Alonso and Hamilton collided.
Basically the end of the Kemmel Straight.
Oh, what, the Les Combes?
Yeah, the com, and then went down to the hairpin and absolutely punted him.
Love that.
It was incredible. And the commentary's there. Oh, there's going to be a statement from Max. Just wait. Just wait. Just wait.
There it is.
So good.
Oh,
he then did get disqualified, sadly.
But really?
Not surprised.
What a surprise.
Shall we talk Formula One? Because the Tuesday curse has struck again.
Insert same image as last time here.
Nick De Vries has been fired by AlphaTauri to be replaced immediately by Daniel Ricciardo.
I would just like to congratulate Ben for accurately predicting that.
Yeah.
That's wild, isn't it? Even though it was before, still.
Yeah, I'll put the little clip in. I'll put the little clip in here.
Danny's doing a test on Tuesday, which Christian and Helmet are bigging up to see how he does, so then they can launch Nick De Vries into Narnia.
What I found really funny about that though is Helmut Marko, I'm pretty sure, came out and said, "Oh yeah, Ricardo's pace on the tire test where they got him front row in the grid." And then the lap time came out and it got him like 8th.
what was it? Oh, 27-8, wasn't it?
I think
I think
so.
it was 27-8, but then Verstappen and all was in 26s, weren't they?
Mm. But front row on the grid.
It's a good front row.
But yeah, Helmut Marko's had enough of Nick De Vries,
It's
and
funny how that's happened. Is apparently Christian rang Helmet during the tire test saying Danny's times are good, and then the next minute Helmet's just fired Nick, and he's rang back. Oh, Nick's gone. I fired it.
And then it was Nick's team that phoned the
Yeah.
Dutch media to tell the Dutch media that Nick had been fired. It wasn't Red Bull that wanted the news out there yet. So, yeah.
how soon do we see Nick De Vries back in the Mercedes garage,
Next
armed
week.
with all the information that he gained from his time with Red Bull and Alpha Tauri?
Well, I mean, he's in the worst car on the grid. Is the information really going to be that beneficial?
He
True.
was seen with Toto Wolff the next day.
Yeah.
Yeah, in
Monaco,
Monaco.
so
Toto, please
Yeah,
take me
but
back. Please.
Everyone lives in Monaco, so that's basically the equivalent of going out for a walk and bumping into your neighbor.
no, but they were sat like
I know they were sat at a
restaurant.
cafe and
Yeah,
had
What
a-
would have been
still.
funny is if Toto was sitting there in like his Mercedes shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, that would have really given it away. He's back.
one of
Welcome,
those.
Nick De Vries.
What would have been really savage is if Toto had worn a Williams shirt and been like, if only you'd picked this team.
Yeah, probably wouldn't have got sacked.
We'll never know.
Indeed.
But Williams are not
Face.
the type of team to just eject someone mid-season.
Yeah, Logan Sargent isn't going to get taken out back and shot by James Vowles anytime soon.
If someone gets shot by James Fowles, I'll be very worried.
I think if anyone meets their demise in that fashion in the paddock, I'd be concerned.
It would be funny seeing James shoot one because we'd be like, Valtteri, it's James.
Your Honor, we have a testimony from the culprit.
Valtteri, it's James.
Pretty damning evidence.
You did not abort the fastest lap attempt. But
You should be the new James Bond, really, shouldn't he? It's James.
James Fowles.
Yeah.
Oh God.
the best bit of the It's James, though, that I've came to realize is that there's two Jameses in high up positions at Mercedes. So just going, it's James was very vague.
It's Allison, the other one?
Yeah, James Allison, I think, was like the chief technical director or something.
Yeah, but during a race, that like he's not really going to be on the blower, is he?
To be fair, James Vowles very rarely was as well.
Well, yeah, because he's
Unless
he's
it was
head...
to tell Valtteri, no.
Yeah, it's the head of strategy, so he only steps in when he needs to. It's the driver's race engineer that does most of it. Well, at
I
least
don't
most
think
of the
we've
communication.
ever heard another team's head of race strategy on the radio, come to think of it.
They
Like
probably
we've never heard Sergio, it's Hannah.
True.
No, because Red Bull seems to have it in place that everything goes through the race engineer rather than any kind of stepping in from senior. Like it will, like Hannah will talk to GP and Sergio's race engineer and be like, "This is what is happening. You tell them this."
Tell them, no.
So, I mean, I
yeah.
don't know if it's. I think it's just different managerial styles, really, isn't it?
It's just very odd that it's only Mercedes that we've heard it from.
But then also,
and it was only at Valtteri.
Yeah, but it's also like Valtteri, it's James became quite iconic. So like,
to be fair, we
that's
have
another reason
heard
why we knew
Lewis
about
it's
it.
James.
Yeah,
True.
but like,
but that's usually for an apology.
Yeah,
also
or
but like it became quite iconic, so that's why we heard about it more because people they were posting about it when it happened.
There's also Fernando's faster than you.
Fernando is faster than you. I think that was his race engineer, though.
Yeah, it was his race engineer, but still.
I think the only time we've heard Christian on the radio, apart from congratulating the drivers, was in Brazil last year after Max didn't let Checo by. Pretty sure Horner came on the radio and was basically like, "What happened? We talk later."
I don't know. I mean, we've heard team principals every now and again. Like we had Binotto step in a few times when Charles
Lewis,
was
we know the
complaining.
car is bad. Just drive it.
Yeah. That's a funny sounding Binotto.
Yeah. He's went
Also-
German. His name's Toto Wolf now.
Yeah. And he drives for Mercedes. Like
Also,
when
Wolf drives from Mercedes. Wow,
Yeah, have you not seen him on Hot Laps?
bro. Well, I
Yeah,
did see him on
usually
Hot Lap.
Exactly. You
It
took a
was our
photo
most
of it.
popular tweet ever.
Terms and
Big
conditions.
Toto Wolf.
Game of the boss.
So, but I don't know. It's just one of those things, isn't it?
Yeah.
What I've seen in terms of online quote unquote backlash is that some people aren't impressed that the only sort of news over from the De Vries side of things has been Franz Tost's statement saying thanks for the hard work, but adios amigo. Whereas every other like journalistic outlet has been like, oh my god, Daddy's back. It's like, yeah, I can understand that. He's one of the
Yeah.
biggest personalities in the paddock.
Yeah, Danny's
and
going to get more clicks, isn't he? Simple
yeah,
as that.
Nick De Vries was not really a personality.
It's like
at
someone
all.
holding £100 and a tenner at the same time, being like, "What do you
What
want?"
do you want?
Yeah,
What I will find really fun is I've been playing through my driver career mode on F1 23, and the first driver I lapped all season, Nick De Vries.
Nice.
Like days after he lost his drive, it had to be Nick De Vries, and he's always at the back of the grid.
It feels weird with Danny back because it's like I want to say this is said right, but it's the start of a ripple effect, if that makes sense. And the fact that Danny coming back is going to create so much more from it and more driver moves. Because if he storms it, he might be back in Red Bull.
It's silly season, boys.
Yeah.
Yeah, if he storms it, then yeah, absolutely. But if he doesn't, he could
Yeah,
lose his
and
drive
then-
equally as quickly as Nick De Vries.
Well, he's
like,
only got a
it's-
contract till the end of the year currently.
Mm.
So
And
battle-
who replaces him?
that's the thing. Nobody's really so okay. Liam Lawson is in Super Formula. Fine, whatever.
Doing quite well in Super Formula as
yeah.
well.
Wasn't he only really put there because he hasn't really had anywhere else to go?
pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Which I'm surprised they didn't manage to find him a seat in Formula 2. All things considered, but
Or even Formula 3, considering Super Formula is that level.
Money. How much money could Liam provide to Red Bull? Because Red Bull only gives so much, don't they? It's like it's Liam's money that they use most of. So how
I guess
much can Liam
it
provide?
depends on the individual deal. Like some people will have fully funded drives.
Yeah, some people are partially. So
Yeah.
But they have got 6 drivers in the Formula 2 Championship currently, and Ayumu Iwasa is probably the favourite given his current position in the standings. I believe he's third.
yes, yeah, he's third.
I
It's
still feel like it could be a bit too soon for Iwasa though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
how long has Iwasa been in the championship?
I think this is
Second
only
year
his
now.
second season. Yeah.
So it's an interesting one in terms of who would you pick. Like I'd say Liam Lawson would probably be the prime candidate,
Yeah, he's the
considering
current
he's
favourite.
done free practice sessions in the cars,
Mm.
has some experience in that regard. But at the same time, are they really going to take a shot on him? Equally, if they're getting through the drivers at the current rate, they are 2.5 seasons, they'll be out of Formula 2 drivers. So you know, thankfully they've got
It's
one in
all-
Formula 3 as well. So
It's also a case of who has enough super license points,
This
Yes.
is true.
because I'm not sure Iwasa would.
I think it would depend on where he finished in the season
Yeah.
this year. If he
'Cause
does well enough,
This is
he
his
should.
second season in Formula
But
2.
Didn't they go for, is it Plough last year in IndyCar, if that's right?
They
Wasn't that
tried-
McLaren had that?
Yeah, McLaren.
No,
Yeah,
because
but I think AlphaTauri tried it as well, but he didn't.
AlphaTauri were interested in Colton Herta,
Oh, yeah, right, yeah. That's
and
right.
they tried to sign him, but they didn't have. They wouldn't get special dispensation for his lack
Where
of
is
super
he?
license points.
You get super
So they
license
say
points for IndyCar, don't you?
victories. Yeah, but it's not that
Not a lot.
high. Yeah. IndyCar gets the same, well, just below the same amount of super license points as Formula 2.
But
Yeah.
he's currently ninth in IndyCar, so he's
Yeah, and
He would
pretty
get
fab, isn't
2 super license points for that.
And
It's
he
not-
finished the 2022 IndyCar season with 32 points, 40 needed for super license.
Yeah, so
So-
being ninth still wouldn't get him a super license. He needs to finish 5th or above.
Ooh.
Because the winner automatically gets a super license. Then second gets 30, third 20, fourth 10, fifth 8, sixth 6, seventh 4th, eighth 3, ninth 2, 10th 1. Whereas for Formula 2, you automatically get a super license point. You automatically get a super license if you finish first, second, or third in the championship. So if Iwasa finishes third, he will get his super license.
Be interesting between Ricardo and Tsunoda though, because they can't really equal each other. Because if they equal each other, I feel like they just get left there. I think for one of them to make the step up, the one has to completely dominate the other.
I think all
Right.
of this really depends on how well Daniel Ricciardo performs in the next 6 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine if he absolutely stinks it up again.
Honestly, I think this could be the benchmark for Sonoda.
Yeah.
And they're because they know Daniel. Daniel is a known entity to them. They know how well he can perform. And according to reports from Red Bull, his simulator times have been brilliant, and the tire test times were pretty damn good as well. So essentially, this becomes how well does Sonoda do against someone that we know is pretty damn good? And if Sonoda wipes the floor with him, then I think Checo's in trouble from
Goodbye.
Sonoda's side. But if Ricardo does well and wipes the floor with Sonoda, then hello, welcome back. What was it 2017 Red Bull pairing? Let's go.
Yeah, and 2018.
Yep. Azerbaijan.
Yeah. It's another thing with that. Sergio Perez now. Like, yeah.
Sweating.
Yeah. How much are
He's
you looking in the rearview
absolutely
mirror
bricks.
now? Yeah.
The scenes when Danny Rick outqualifies Sergio Perez.
Ooh, especially this weekend as well coming. There's
Mm.
pressure on. You've seen it with Bottas as well, like all through when he was still doing okay. And then people are still being like,
when
oh,
when
he's still
Bottas
not
was
the
under
gunner.
pressure from George, Bottas was still bringing the results. Bottas never
Yeah.
missed Q3 in the Mercedes.
And now,
Sergio hasn't made it in what, 6 races?
5.
5. 5 rounds in a rocket ship. He's missed Q3.
yeah, Mercedes was a rocket ship as well.
And Valtteri didn't miss Q3.
Yeah. Pressure's on.
It's going to be an interesting one. I think this weekend's going to be a nice. I mean, there's not really anything expected immediately in these first 2 races because we're rapidly coming up to summer break. Danny's still getting essentially used to the worst Red Bull. Because like he's done all this sim time and stuff and the tire test in the actual Red Bull. Now he's got to get used to the significantly.
It's probably nice to drive it going to that. There, yeah. What is this?
Yeah. But I mean, he said in an interview he suspects it's probably just an overall lack of downforce. So maybe what AlphaTauri wanted and why they got rid of Nick is someone more experienced to help lead the development of the car.
Yeah.
Because that's something Danny can bring. Danny's been around the sport for a long time now. And he's been in bad cars and he's been in good cars. So he knows what sort of direction he wants to take the car in. And maybe that's what they were after, because Nick de Vries being a rookie isn't going to have that sort of that knowledge base. Sure, he's a world champion in Formula E and he was the champion in Formula 2, but those are two drastically different series to Formula 1 in terms of car design. And Tsunoda, yes, he's doing well and he's in his third season, but third season compared to Ricciardo's like what, 9th or 10th season, something like that. Big difference.
And it was kind of the same with Pierre in the team as well. Pierre did have a stint in Red Bull, but for the most part, the AlphaTauri was the only car he knew. So yes, he could develop it, but not as well as Daniel could, because Daniel's been in the Toro, Red Bull, McLaren, Renault. So like he can properly push and be like, yeah, nah.
And the HRT, if you're going back really far.
And HRT, yeah. But
something that's just popped into my head actually. Really funny, the amount of Danny Rick merchandise that was on sale at Silverstone. They were just flogging off his old McLaren shirts. I picked up a Danny Rick Renault F1 team hat, and now he's back. Oh, I wonder if they'll sell that even cheaper now that it's teams that he doesn't drive for. Please take this.
I really can't wait to see how absolutely fire the AlphaTauri Danny Rick merch is going to look.
Oh
yeah, because the AlphaTauri merch looks good as it is.
Slap Danny Rick on that bad boy. Yes.
I don't know if they've dropped anything yet. Let's look.
If only I wasn't severely broke because I'm looking for somewhere else to live.
Oh, I'm severely broke because of Formula One.
You and me live in different worlds.
Oh yeah, speaking of, the first set of tickets for Silverstone 2024 dropped from Formula One today. Would you like to know how much they cost?
£79,000.
Last year?
Well, see, last year it kept changing because they had dynamic pricing. So every time.
No, that was from Silverstone. I don't know about the tickets direct from Formula One.
Oh, okay. This is like pit lane passes and experience and
F1 experiences.
Oh, so if it's F1 experience, are we going like top tier or like?
No, this is like I think medium tier.
Oh, okay. So about £3,500.
No, not quite. The second grade hospitality is actually cheaper than that. So this is below second grade hospitality as well.
Oh,
so this is
2K.
What, like
£1,200. But would you like to know what that £1,200 gets you?
Oh.
Bottle of champagne.
A ticket.
Yeah.
Pretty much. A ticket to Beckett's for the weekend. A track tour on the Thursday. And an appearance from an F1 personality.
Wow.
All yours for just £1,200.
An F1 personality. They didn't say who.
No, it doesn't say who. To be fair, it's a bit early to say who.
Paul di Resta.
It's 100% Damien Hill or Johnny Herbert.
No, it's Paul di Resta.
But they say personality. Sorry, F1 personality.
Hold on, I can't.
Well, it's not going to be Damon Hill, then, is it?
He said.
Yeah, I was going to say if it says F1 personality, it's definitely not Paul di Resta or Damien Hill.
Johnny Herbert actually has some banter though, so you know.
Just make it Martin Brundle. He'll demand interviews.
No, he can be on Sky. More important things.
Yeah,
like the grid, like the track walk.
Yeah.
So you get Beckett's grandstand seating for the Friday to Sunday, and then on the Thursday you get F1 Experiences Live, which is an exclusive event which takes place on the track at Silverstone Circuit, indulging street food, alcoholic beverages, roaming activities, and show cars. I don't know if that's all inclusive or if you have to pay more money. A guided
mix.
Yeah, exactly.
Like what they do on holidays. You have the food for free, but you have to pay for the drinks.
A guided track tour where you get to step aboard a flatbed truck and be like one of the paddock club. A championship trophy photo, an appearance by an F1 legend or current driver, an appearance by an F1 media personality, all yours for £1,217.74.
F1 media personality.
So Will Buxton.
Could be. I mean, if we're going down that route, that's Will Buxton, Lawrence Barretto, Laura Winters. I wouldn't say no to meeting those three.
In the photo that they use, it's neither of those three.
Ooh, is it Sam Collins?
It is this
Just
fine
Brundle.
gentleman.
It is Brundle. Wow.
Yes. And that's from the F1 Experiences Live thing on the Thursday.
Damn.
It's 400 quid. That's steep, though.
Yeah.
That's
Or also
It's
released, as I say, as the second grade hospitality, the Champions Club, where you can get Champions Club viewing, a 3-day Champions Club general access ticket, located on the National Pit Straight after turn 8, covered an outside balcony with hospitality. Champions Club hospitality, a grid walk and a championship trophy photo on the Friday or Saturday, an appearance by an F1 media personality or driver, and an F1 executive Q&A. All yours for £2,588.55.
That's Q&A. That sounds interesting.
That's oh god.
When I first looked at Champions Club, I think it was like £1,200 for the weekend, and I was like, I can afford that. Not anymore. This was before I had to pay for things like a car and things. And they offered split payments of like
wait.
£400.
So you could afford a ticket, but getting there would be a major issue.
I was going to public transport it.
That's a long journey on public transport.
Also, can you imagine turning up on public transport and then being like, yes, I've got this paddock pass.
Yeah, you're just sitting there with your paddock club lanyard on, just watching every dude. Just you feel them looking at you like, what?
Just sat at a bus stop with the paddock club thing. We're like, yeah.
Then everyone drives past in their really expensive Mercedes, McLarens, Bentleys.
And you're on the stagecoach, standing room only.
Stagecoach? Nah, man. Mega bus.
They run special services to Silverstone, so that is actually possible.
Get that bus with Dara O'Brien's face on the back.
But yeah, hopefully they release more cheaper tickets as we get closer to the event.
I think they will. I don't think there's a hopefully.
Joke's on you. Inflation's taking hold. That's the cheapest ticket now.
Because I kind of want to sit in Beckett's next year because it's got the best view of the circuit. Anyway,
spent 1,200 quid currently, so
yeah, exactly. I'm not willing to do that. I'll wait on Silverstone releasing their tickets and then I'll give them £600 just for the right to go to the Grand Prix.
It's just for the right. Like you have no right to go to the Grand Prix.
Without a ticket, you don't. So
you just don't have a ticket. You can't come in.
Exactly. So you don't have the right to go.
Right.
Or I can buy one of those fancy houses that they're building at the.
I think that's more expensive than Paddock Club.
It is. Do you want to know how much?
Go on. How much?
850,000. for one of the little houses that they're building on the outside of Maggot.
That's cheaper than houses on my parents' street.
What?
That's cheaper than a house
London,
that's by my
Essex.
work.
I've just
Richard's moving to Silverstone.
Hell yeah! Mum, Dad, pack up shop. We're moving.
They're not built yet, but they do look quite nice because they've started putting them up around the track already. Or you
just sit in
can
the garden. There's a lot of traffic around today, and all that bloody noise.
This helicopter keeps flying past.
Yeah.
What is going on?
or you can go to the Hilton rooftop lounge for £20,000.
Yeah, that's what I originally thought you were on about. I thought you were on about that first. I was like, 850 grand to stay in there.
No, they've actually built houses at Maggots and removed one of the best grandstands or general admission areas, from what I understand.
It's probably a way this country would go. Just build houses around the tracks and be like, yeah, you can stay in them, but it costs a hell of a lot.
It'd be like Imola then, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
But shall we talk about Hungary? Let's
Yeah, I
stop
suppose we
talking about
probably should.
Silverstone 2024 is a long time away. Let's talk about Hungary instead. A new qualifying format this weekend.
Well, a new qualifying
Well,
tyre regulation
yeah.
format.
So in Q1, all cars must run the hard tyre. Then in Q2, they must run the medium, and in Q3, the softs. So that'll be quite interesting if a car is on the hards.
Mercedes.
Perez.
Oh.
So Friday will be very important to get those quick laps in on the hard tyre, rather than just focusing on the long runs, because they're going to need to go hell for leather on them on the Saturday.
Well, you probably see a lot of cars just go out early and do about 5 laps before a quick one. Quick one.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably what it's going to be. There's going to be about 6 laps of tyre warming, and then they go. It'll be like a wet session where they come out at the start and just do not pit.
Yeah, they just carry on and get faster
Yeah.
and faster and faster.
So that'll be interesting to see. It's Hungary, so qualifying is actually quite important because, as we all know, it's very difficult to overtake around that track.
It's Monaco without the walls.
Well, no, that's
just
a bit harsh on
Hungary.
Hungary. There's a
That's what they
couple.
always say on commentary.
It's a stupid thing to say, though,
It
isn't it?
is.
Yeah,
It
'cause-
Monaco without walls.
There's a few places to overtake in Hungary. There are none in Monaco.
Well, there's a few in Monaco.
Yeah, but
Just extremely difficult.
yeah, you've got turn 1
It's
and
like
turn.
Hungary with walls.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You've got turn 1 and turn 2 in Hungary that are quite good overtaking spots. Turn 4 if you're brave.
Yeah.
And that's about it, really. But that's about 4 corners more than Monaco, so
2 more than Monaco.
yeah, I suppose you've got the
This year
hairpin
we've
at Monaco if you're brave.
Yeah, we've seen turn 1 and then
And the
just
hair.
at Casino Square, I think it was.
Novel chicane.
You don't? Do you see moves there though?
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, coming out the tunnel. That's where Max Verstappen yeeted Lewis Hamilton a couple of years ago.
It wasn't. He didn't overtake him though, did he? He just cut the chicane and got past him, didn't he?
Well, no, they both hit each other, and then they both cut the chicane, and Lewis stayed in front.
It's not an overtake then, is it?
If he was closer, it could have been.
Okay. Let's move on to some semantics of is it an overtake?
It was an attempted overtake then.
Hungary. This is Hungary predictions, not Monaco roasting. Come on.
Every episode is a Monaco roasting. But yeah, Hungary is actually where we've seen one of the great strategy plays play out in 2019.
What?
The Mercedes True Stop. So strategy
thought-
can
21 Mercedes strategy was incredible.
I can't argue with that.
Yeah, it's still iconic, the fact that Lewis was the only car on that grid for the restart.
Mm. But knowing his luck, he would have pitted and no one else would have. And there'd been 19
but
cars
then
on the grid and just
He
him.
would have had the right strategy and
Mm.
been about 30 seconds ahead of everyone else.
But yeah, it is actually where we've seen one of the good strategies play out. I rewatched that race the other night. The way he punted down Max Verstappen was very impressive.
That wouldn't happen now, though, would it?
No, it would be Max Verstappen doing the hunting these days.
It'd be murder between them both.
Mm. Well, no, they seem to be friends after, again, you've seen how they interacted after the British GP.
Yeah, that's because he was on the podcast.
Yeah.
Honestly, the speed at which that edit comes out every week is amazing. And if you haven't seen the Max Verstappen podcast episodes, oh my God, they're brilliant. Go and look for them.
My favourite one was the one where they took the cool down route in Silverstone. They gave Lewis a desk, a laptop, and the headphones and everything.
So good.
Yeah, that's it. That's the
Yeah.
one.
It's incredible. The fact they've actually got Lewis like standing lens against the desk.
Yeah, that was good stuff.
Norris's first appearance on the podcast. Long may it continue.
Yeah, where will McLaren come this weekend? It's a very different track from Silverstone.
Hang on, I've got an idea.
Mm,
1D20.
He looks sad.
Lando's coming 10th.
That's still a point, right? Roll again.
Piastri's coming 15th.
Not a good weekend for McLaren then.
why is this?
Okay, but I just rolled a dice. I rolled a 20-sided dice, and that was it. Okay, but if that actually comes off, I'm making a note of that.
We'll give you a point.
The die predictions.
No.
Oh my
that's an
God.
awful prediction. You can't give him points for McLaren doing.
No, I'm not
terribly
taking
after
points
coming
from it.
Second and fourth.
I'm not taking points from it. I'm just gonna every week we're gonna pick a team, and we're gonna roll the dice until it fails.
It'll be a new segment now, isn't it?
Until it fails,
Yeah.
like every week is gonna come
Yeah.
in.
I think we should change it as we should roll the dice every week until it works.
Okay, fine.
You say this now. Yeah, you say this now. It's going to work every week then.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to come. The dice will predict.
If you're doing 10th and 15th, can that be for Red Bull?
Well, Max qualified 10th last year and still won the race. So,
To be fair, though, the other teams are a bit closer this year.
a little bit. Not that the results would tell you that.
But in terms of pure race pace, they're not getting beat by 30 seconds. It's only 3 seconds now.
That was
Yeah, when Max Verstappen takes a pit stop at the end and sacrifices his 28-second lead.
Well, yeah, probably what would have been like 22, maybe.
But yeah, back to Hungary. What was I going to say? I was going to say something, and you have put me off. Yes, how will McLaren do it? Because they didn't look great through the slow speed corners at Silverstone. It was mainly the high speed that they were strong in.
They've got the downforce. That's what matters.
It's all low speed.
But it's
Not that
downforce.
low. There's a few low. I think the low's sector 3 of the hairpins.
I'd say it's all low to medium speed. There's no really high speed corners in Hungary. Apart from turn 3 and turn 4. That's about it.
I still think they're going to do all right.
But still, I don't think the low
because it's a fundamentally different circuit. Like they set up for the way they did in Silverstone, and they're not going to set up for Silverstone at Hungary, are they?
Yeah, it was more if the car is strong through the high speed, then it might be a track that they struggle with. If it's, I'm hopeful that Mercedes will be all right because they looked good in the low speed, but crap in the high. So
and this is where I get the dice back out. Mercedes will finish.
If this says 1-2, then I'm going to be gutted.
Fourth.
Oh.
First.
See?
The dice has been. Sorry, mate. It's only the first 2 rolls of each week. That's no.
Long live the dice.
No, the dice have just been put in the bin.
McLaren come 10th and 15th, and Mercedes are 1 and 4. I'm going to cry myself to sleep.
So am I.
We're Red Bull 1920 DNF.
Got Bottas bowling again.
Yeah, God.
Bottas to qualify P3 and go bowling just for the sake of it.
Yeah. He's going to run out of fuel on the line. Everyone's just going to twat him.
Oh, God.
Anyway.
Predictions.
Yes, let's do that. Ben, you go first.
I really want to put my whole life on McLaren doing well.
Do it then.
No, absolutely not. Because I know if I do it, it won't happen. And then I'm suddenly 80 points behind in the championship and think, oh, how have I got myself here? I wonder why. Verstappen on pole.
Neil?
Verstappen on pole.
Yeah, I'm putting Verstappen on pole as well.
So am I. And so has Sonia. Yeah,
Okay.
I got Sonia's ahead of time this week. We're prepared.
That's good. Nia, your podium, please.
Verstappen.
Congratulations, you filled 1/3
Yeah,
of the podium.
I'm
That is the
doing
podium.
great.
That was just it. 1 finisher,
That's it.
19 DNFs.
Bottas went bowling too hard this week. Let's go Hamilton Alonso.
Hamilton Alonso.
Ben?
I'm going to say Verstappen, Perez, Norris.
Richard?
Verstappen. Who did well last year? Did Russell have a good performance last year? He had a pole, but where did he finish?
Third.
That's a good question.
Verstappen.
I'm going to go Verstappen, Russell, Leclerc.
To actually give him a good strategy at Hungary.
Maybe?
I don't want the
dream.
1950 Silverstone Grand Prix. No, I want the 2022 Hungarian Grand Prix. It was a 2-3 for Mercedes last year. Max, Hamilton, George.
Oh no. Oh no.
So, your podium, please, Chris.
I'm going to go with Max, Hamilton, Leclerc.
Interesting. Sonia has gone for Verstappen, Alonso, Norris. The reason being, why not? Lol, I don't know anymore.
I respect it.
Yeah, I can get time.
Bold prediction. Richard.
I totally stole mine from something you said earlier in the episode. Daniel Ricciardo outqualified Sergio Perez.
That is genius. That's really good.
Ben?
Tsunoda to outperform Ricardo in the race and quali.
That is literally what I was going to say.
Ian, I've rubbed his bold prediction. Yes.
See, Chris, there's a reason why you pick yourself to go first sometimes.
Nia?
Both AlphaTauris and the points.
Are we just going through all the teams?
No. She's returning to old form, but the last
More
the
than a bold
last
prediction.
3 have not included the last 4 have not included both cars in the points. So
Oh.
it's just a return to historic form.
Mm.
How many times, as you said, both cars in points?
Shut
Well,
up.
this will be number
Doesn't
5
matter,
because this
doesn't
is
matter.
round 9.
Doesn't matter.
I think
Doesn't
that should
matter.
be a yellow card. On the
Two.
Nope. Nope.
In
I'm
fact,
not-
no, actually, include Imola's. Although the race didn't happen, include it. Because we did predict.
I mean, okay.
How about you shut your mouth?
Situations have developed since the last time, but this
Right.
was your bold prediction for Australia.
How many
How
times?
about you shut your mouth?
Well, I'll start speaking Welsh and you won't know
Oh,
what
no.
I'm saying.
I'll just beep it. Actually, because you'll no, I'll have to it because you're a when I edit.
That's all right. No one will understand it anyway.
Yeah, it'll just be some American man going into the microphone. Okay.
So, Richard, what's the number?
Oh, we're just letting it go. I'm
Oh,
fine
I
with it
wanna
because
know how many
Alpha
times.
Tauri are last. Like, come on.
Yeah,
And
true.
it's- Spirit of
can't
Danny
just keep
coming
saying 2
back.
cars in points.
Okay,
Who
so
was in Spirit of Daniel coming back?
I don't care if it's a miracle prediction of the fact that Alpha Tauri is the worst car on the grid by a mile, and she's saying there's 2 cars of them in the points.
Mm-hmm.
he's only done it 4 times.
Okay.
How many races?
10.
Yeah, 40%.
It's different teams, though, you know. So
Yeah, but
Exactly.
it's the same principle.
yeah, but
Shut up.
she's never got the point.
Yeah,
That-
because you're saying it's Alpha Tauri and all of that crap.
You didn't need to bring that up.
I'm going to go Danny Rick to make it to at least Q2.
Yeah.
We
How
get,
much are you saying that that's bold?
Yeah, can we get a query on Sonoda's
How many-
recent qualifying
yeah,
performances,
yeah.
please?
How many times has you?
Yeah, but remember, we need to look at Nick De Vries's qualifying performances because
No.
it's his
No,
seat
no,
that he's
no.
took over.
You're saying there's a conspiracy between Nick De Vries's car and Yuki Tsunoda's.
So Nick De Vries was out in Q1 in Bahrain.
He made it to Q2 ever.
I think he did.
He was
once.
out in Q1 in Saudi Arabia.
Sonoda's
He-
not doing Q1 in the last 3.
Well, there you go. So it's perfectly valid.
But they both made it to Q2 4 races ago.
But that was 4 races ago.
That was both of them, though.
So this is right on the line.
They're not making it to Q3. I know that for sure. So Q2.
How high in Q2? I think we
And
should allow that.
Yuki Tsunoda made it to Q3 in Monaco.
But that's Monaco.
And Nick De Vries made it to Q2 in Monaco.
I think you should be allowed to be like top 13 or whatever.
All right,
A
stuff
specific
it.
point in
Stuff
Q2.
it. Danny Rick Q3.
There we go.
Yeah, thank
We
you.
have pressured him into an actually bold prediction.
Lap down showdown. Ben,
2 seconds.
because
How
you
many
can no
laps are at
longer.
Hungary?
70
Nice.
laps.
Yeah, that's
What were you
high.
gonna
I
say,
knew that.
Chris? Because I can no longer say
You can't say Nick De Vries anymore.
didn't say him in the first place.
No, Chris, you were the only one to pick De Vries last week.
Well, yeah.
Fact check on that.
It was more just in general because for a lot of people it was a toss up between Nick De Vries and Logan Sargent, who you were going to bully that week.
And now it's just one.
All
All aboard.
I think Hatters have gone down there, haven't they? So hopefully they have 0 tyre wear. Well, as in their tyre wear's awful. And Kevin Magnussen will get that first.
Okay. On which lap?
Lap 34.
And how many laps down?
How many laps are in Hungary?
70.
70.
70.
Yeah, 17.
7. Yeah.
Even less laps than Spa.
Go around the whole Nordschleife.
2 laps down.
Nia?
Logan Sargent.
Hey, there he is.
Oh.
2 laps down. 39.
Richard?
You know what? Sonoda. Lap. Now, is there an early instant where he has damage and therefore gets lapped quickly? Or does that instant bring out a safety car and therefore he doesn't get lapped until later on? 42, 1.
I'm also going to go with Sonoda.
Why is Yuki getting bullied now?
It's Danny
Because
Rick's back.
he drives the Alpha Tauri.
Alpha Tower is the worst car on the grid.
Yeah. Lap 30. 1.
Cool.
That wraps up predictions. Do we have anything else to discuss?
Jensen Button absolutely burned out the entirety of the
Yes.
Goodwood strip in that NASCAR, and it was amazing.
Mick Schumacher got to do donuts in his dad's car.
Yeah, that was cool.
Mm.
That was very cool.
The support series are going to be in Hungary.
Yep.
So you've got all that and more to look forward to on next week's episode of the Turn 5 podcast. And in 2 weeks, we have groundbreaking coverage from the FIA Formula E World Championship.
ABB FIA Formula E World Championship. Get it
Oh,
right.
yeah, sorry.
Oh, she's got
From
on
the-
Go on, get it right.
From the 2023 London E-Prix, because they don't bring title sponsors to their races. From Nia.
Don't expect much. For the love of God.
We remember
expect
last year.
loads.
So, Nia, how was it?
It was all
Just think, Neil, there's an award show at the end of this year, so I need content.
I'll try and get videos of waving flags, don't you worry.
Oh,
Can't
thank God,
just be-
someone that gets content.
Verstappen win of the year. Oh, let's look at that. 17 to choose from.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Are we going to have Perez's biggest flop? Is that going to be a category?
Yeah, that is smart.
I thought the award
Put that
show was
down.
for us, though. We can't exactly get the
Well,
the
what are
award to
we-
Perez.
What entertainment has there been for us this year?
I'm sure there's a fan mail address. We can send him something in the post. We'll just send it to the Red Bull headquarters. They've got a fan mail address.
Hmm.
Here you go.
Still
This is
be-
for Checo.
think there
An
can still
award
be-
for your worst performance of the year.
Yeah, there can still be our aspect to it, but we might insert some F1s in there as well. It expands the award show more.
To be fair, I'm trying to think of what moments we've had this year that would be award show worthy. There hasn't been.
We haven't had an Abu Dhabi review.
Yeah.
That's true.
Well, we haven't been to Abu Dhabi
Just
yet.
wait. Just
Yeah,
you
We haven't
wait.
talked about gay sex. you
Yeah,
know.
We've also not
Nothing.
had a member of the royal family die for Ben. A slander.
Hey, give it time. Charlie boys, you know,
Just you wait.
he's not young.
we need some chaos in this world. If Charlie dies this week, Chris, it's all on you.
If it dies
What we-
tomorrow.
Chris's bold prediction: King Charles died.
But of course, it's going to be on a Tuesday, obviously.
Oh yeah,
What we do
Yeah.
have for biggest oof of the year so far is Ben nearly buckling at the start of a couple of weeks ago's episode when we talked about Delano. Bro nearly burst out
It's
laughing.
because we were talking about very unserious stuff, and then you just went, "And we're going to go
Yeah.
straight into somber mode." No warning. So I'll back him on that.
You both held it together though. Ben's sitting
Oh,
there
no.
like,
Yeah, it's because I like slightly interrupted. Like, why is it? And then you said that he died. I was like, oh, Christ.
Yeah, maybe
So-
you should preview us before we start the episode so we know
Just
next time.
Just shove me under the bus. Can't wait for this award show. Chris's
Hey, you're hosting it. You can just
videography.
cut it out.
true.
Oh no, I'll just put it all on Chris.
Yes.
The Chris Award.
Yeah, Chris's worst fumble.
The award for the biggest Chris.
Best
Anyway.
Chris moment. The amount of times he
Of
said
the
it's going to be.
Anyway,
Who's our what clip are we going to use for the sponsorship this year, Ben?
We'll have to. I don't know. Sponsor it by our streams. Turn 5 streams. Never.
I've been ousted from sponsorship. Oh my god.
Yeah.
we will
Okay.
bring back Turn 5 streams at some point.
No.
I mean, to be fair, we had one a couple of weeks ago, so
Oh,
Yeah,
I've
we
got
had
another
Turn
award,
5
actually.
We have turn 5
Chris's
tries.
murder of the year. That is one.
yeah, we had Turn 5 tries with Nia trying to make it around one lap of any circuit
No,
on
it was
Formula
me.
1
It was me
2023.
trying to finish a race. I did not.
You very rarely survived a lap, never mind a race.
Okay, so we're going to bring that back.
Yep.
I would say I have been practicing, but I haven't. I need to.
Just as long as we don't go to Miami, I can't do the first sector at all.
It's probably my unpopular opinion, but I really enjoy driving Miami now.
I didn't do too
I'm not
bad
bad at it, but I just
That wraps up this week's episode.
Controversy of the year.
But yeah, no, I hate the first sector. I just can't hook it up whatsoever.
That wraps up this.
Um,
Come on, close it out.
we'll talk more
Can you
about the
take it?
we'll talk more about the game a couple of weeks after its launch next week, maybe, because I
It's
don't think
already-
we've got any predictions to make next week.
Spa.
Is that a double header?
And then it's summer break.
We'll talk about it in the summer break.
Well,
Thank you very
talk
much for
about it in
watching.
Summer break.
We will see you next time. Bye bye.